race fans, Ryan Aho here from the One to Go Show, bringing you another installment of the BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show late model power rankings. Now, lots happened this past weekend. We had 4 Challenge Series races in there. So at KRA Speedway on Thursday night in Wilmer, Pat Doer, he got win number 300 in a late model. Congratulations, Pat Doer, on win number 300. Well, how do you do better than that? You win the next night. He parked it in Victory Lane at the Fiesta City Speedway, made it 301. Dave Moss, one of my old nemesis, is there. Actually kind of caught him sleeping, got around him, and bobbled one time. I tell you what, if Pat Doer opens the door and you get by him, you better not screw up. He's too dang good. And Dave Moss let one slip away. Doer doubled up, made it 3 in a row, actually. So there was 2 more Challenge Series races after that. In comes rookie Tyler Peterson. Gets her done at Madison. Started on the pole, slipped back to 3rd, drove by Josh Simple and Pat Doer, and parked it in Victory Lane. And then he went to the Casino Speedway on Sunday, did it again. So Tyler Peterson with a pair of Challenge Series wins. NLRA late model action up at the Greenbush Race Park. Mike Reseth, your 2-time and reigning champion of the series, hitting pay dirt for the first time this year. Plymouth Raceway over in Wisconsin. Plymouth, Wisconsin. They have a Super 6 deal where they have 6 late model events. Mitch McGrath getting it done. Him and old Terry Casey had a hell of a battle up front there. And one of the better races I saw this weekend for late model, Skeeter Esty getting the win over in Hibbing. Jeff Provenzino was looking for his 2nd straight, got inside of him multiple times, but not quite enough to get by the 37X. Now, little shout out here to our friends at S&S Transport, speaking of NLRA. So trucking, right? Huge industry nationwide, looking for drivers, right? I mean, if you want to work, if you want to drive truck, get a hold of the folks at S&S Transport. I mean, a big racing team, right? Brad Sang and his brother, and it's a whole family deal up there. Got a great company up in Grand Forks. They do a lot for the sport. Check them out at S&S Transport. Now, let's bring you the top 10. The top 10 drivers, in my opinion, in the late model division right now. And before we do that, a shout out to BuyRaceShirts.com. If you need hats, shirts, hoodies, apparel of any kind, you name it, who do you go to? You go to somebody involved with dirt track racing. That would be Jordan Tollickson and the crew down in Montevideo at BuyRaceShirts.com. At number 10, the Dirty 30, Kevin Burdick. So here's the deal. Superior this past weekend, he put it to him. Car was unbelievable. Went to Hibbing and he got 82nd, something like that. He was terrible in Hibbing. I'm not sure what happened. Said he was trying something. Well, he went to Proctor. Evidently, they fixed it because he put it to him over there. A pair of wins on the weekend for Kevin Burdick. That's 3 for him. So Kevin Burdick at number 10. At number 9, and before I jump up to 10, Dave Flynn had a hell of a run there, 11th to 2nd. So I want to give a little shout out to my buddy Dave for finding his way to the front. At number 9, Sam Mars. So he won the Trackside Collectibles 40 at Rice Lake. He went to the Challenge Series this past weekend, 3rd, 7th, 5th, and 8th. He looked really good in Wilmer. Couple little bobbles. Otherwise, I think he might have been the guy to beat in that race. 1 win on the year in 10 tries, been on the podium 4 times, consistently getting better. Of course, Sam Mars is going to be at the Masters this weekend. Good luck to the 28. At number 8, Mike Gresseth. So Gresseth won the NLRA race over in Greenbush. In NLRA point shows right now, he has 1 7th in there, 3 thirds, and a win. He's poised to win his 3rd straight NLRA championship unless some of them other guys up there can do something about it. This week, 2nd and a 1st on the week. Hell of a weekend. Looked up at the old My Race Pass, and Mike Gresseth made the trip over to the Cedar Lake Speedway. Very surprised, happily surprised. Good luck to him over at Cedar Lake. At number 7, a guy that never races, but he'll be at the Masters as well, AJ Demo. So he's got 2 races. He's got a win, and he's got a 3rd, both of them in Dirt Kings action. Tom Steining Memorial, I think that's his 2nd straight one of those. AJ Demo going to be one of the guys to beat this weekend at the Cedar Lake Speedway. They had a really good car clone. They had more late models than they have USMTS modifieds. Pretty darn impressive field of cars at Cedar Lake. At number 6, the Hermantown Hammer, Daryl Nelson. I'll be honest with you. AJ Demo race more. He'd probably be ahead of him. Problem is he does not. Okay. So Daryl Nelson, no wins. Gonna maybe have to fade him out of the top 10 unless he can hit pay dirt here, because now we're getting to that time of the year where you're starting to put people that are winning races in the top 10. But the deal is he's always in the conversation, right? A pair of fourths, a second and a sixth this last weekend in Challenge Series races. In the Challenge Series events, he's only got one race outside the top 4, and that was a sixth. I mean, when the money's on the line, he's good. Rice Lake had a pair of specials, second at both of them. He's been good, but not quite good enough to carry the checkered flag yet. Nelson at number 6. At number 5, your reigning national champion for Wissota Late Models, Chad Becker. So this past weekend, DNF and Miller, it looks like that's the only race that, well, no, he went to Casino as well. He got third. I don't know why I don't have that down. He got third. John Canta got by him at Casino. I like it. I'm a big John Canta guy, but Chad Becker don't get passed very often, especially there, but he's still on the podium in that Challenge Series race. So he's got 4 Wissota wins on the year. He's got 2 tri-state wins. Becker's always the guy that finds his way to the front, always in the conversation. He's inside the top 5 at 5. And I think he's tied. I think there's a few of them here at 4 Wissota late model wins. Becker is one of those drivers. The next guy might be just a little bit faster right now. That's Tyler Peterson. The one TPO tied for the most wins. He's got 4. 3 wins on the weekend last weekend. When he won night number 1 over in Ada, I'm like, 6 cars. Who cares? I mean, whatever. Well, then he won 2 Challenge Series races. Dude, you got my attention. We all know he's a hell of a race car driver. You don't win 30 mod races in a year by accident, okay? He knows how to get around a racetrack. Looks right at home in that late model. That thing is just very balanced. I'm telling you what, Tyler Peterson in the conversation, and we'll see what he does with that mod. I mean, if he decides that the late model is more fun, that could get pretty deadly for some of the guys in the mod class. Peterson inside the top 5 at 4. At number 3, Nick Anvilink, who happens to be at the Masters as well. So this past weekend, no racing up in Shawano for him. He got a pair of seconds in Dirt Kings events. Probably got to be the favorite to win that. 1 win on the year. Anvilink super strong. I'm expecting big things from him at Cedar Lake. I'm going to put him at number 3. Another driver that made the trip over to the Cedar Lake Speedway, Cole Searing. Last year, remember, on night number 3, 10 grand to win, he was runner-up to Jimmy Mars. Only 1 Wissota win on the year, 2 tri-states, including a 7,300 to win race over at Huron. I wish he would race. I wish he'd, and I get it. It's kind of like me, a little chip on the shoulder. You piss him off, and he's just going to be like, screw you, don't need you. Cole Searing at number 2, and I think he could be a guy to beat at Cedar Lake. Let's see if a South Dakota driver can win at the Masters. That would be impressive. Now, let's jump into number 1. Before we do, shout out to Dirt Race Central. Who's Dirt Race Central? Come on. You know who Dirt Race Central is. The official streaming platform of Wissota Auto Racing and of the One to Go show. They have more coverage of Wissota racing than anybody. They got more coverage than about every streaming platform out there. They do a great job. All the tracks that you race at, the drivers you race against, where do you catch the action? Dirt Race Central. At number 1, the Double One Express. Congrats again on win number 300 and 301 in late model action. That's a huge milestone to hit for the new Richmond native. So this past weekend, won the first 2 nights of the Challenge Series, right, at Wilmer and at Fiesta City. 3rd place on the podium still at Madison. Josh Zimpel got by him. Don't sleep on that kid. I'm telling you, Josh Zimpel having a good year as well. A couple runner-ups in Challenge Series races. And then he got 10th at Casino. Not quite his best night. 8-point lead right now over Daryl Nelson in the Challenge Series. But in Challenge Series events, remember they chucked one. That 10th place, gone. That one ain't even going to count, right? He's got 3 wins, a 3rd and a 6th. That's his worst finish. That is a 6th. 4 Wissota wins on the year. Now remember, late models, Wissota late models, the rules changed. Only the top 20 shows. It's a race to 20. I'll be honest, I think Becker's going to probably get there first, but Pat Doer, Tyler Peterson, the way that he's running, right? So there's multiple drivers right now that are in the hunt. Kevin Burdick's got 3. He's only 1 shy of the most wins in Wissota racing. So it could be pretty interesting. I like that idea of the top 20 shows for late models, because you might have a whole group of them battling for a national championship. At least that's what I'm hoping at the end of the year. But for right now, the Double One Express, Pat Doer, the #1 driver in the BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show late model power ranking.